Ethanol is a renewable fuel with ethyl alcohol, which is the same alcohol found in alcoholic beverages. Ethanol is considered to be a biofuel due to reduction of greenhouse gases and other harmful emissions that other non-renewable fuels do emit. While it is the same chemically, it is used very differently. Ethanol is most commonly used as motor fuel as an additive to gasoline. About 98% of gasoline contains 10% ethanol in the United States. Ethanol is produced from starch-based crops through wet or dry milling. 90% of ethanol is produced through dry milling in attempts to lower capital costs. Dry milling is most commonly used when producing ethanol. Dry milling is the process of grinding the starches into meals, liquefying the meal into water, and cooking it, breaking down the starches into their sugars, then fermenting with yeast to produce ethanol. There are also other products of the fermentation, such as distiller grains and carbon dioxide. Although it is commonly used, especially in the United States, some ethanol, specifically second generation, is still in the developmental stages. There is research being conducted to limit its emissions even further, discover alternative productions, and limit the amount of leaking from dispensers. Ethanol is communicated daily as an additive to gasoline on pumps and signage at gas stations, grocery stores, and roadway advertisements. Associations like the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, the Energy Information Administration, and the United States Department of Agriculture all inform readers of the growth in use and the necessity of ethanol. Gasoline containing ethanol burns cleaner and has higher octane levels compared to gasoline not containing ethanol. Despite being better for the environment as a whole, ethanol contributes to harmful ground-level ozone and smog due to its higher evaporative emissions from fuel tanks and dispensing equipment. The production of ethanol also releases carbon dioxide due to fermentation. Due to the production of ethanol, jobs in rural areas are created where employment is necessary that connect to the resources necessary. In 2021, the Renewable Fuels Association stated ethanol production created or delivered upwards of 73,000 jobs in the United States, $52.1 billion of gross domestic product, and $28.7 billion in household income. While ethanol seems to be a cleaner option compared to traditional gasoline, there are some production and transferring difficulties that take away from its green factor. Ethanol is also a biofuel with the potential to continue adding to the economy of the United States and beyond. Ethanol is already a cleaner option than most fuels, but there should be some improvement regarding its emissions of carbon dioxide during production and transit. There should be continued research on how to reduce emissions when ethanol is in the hands of sellers and consumers. If money was not a concern, I would focus resources on developing a more advanced transfer system to reduce the emission of harmful greenhouse gases that ethanol releases in transfer from production to carriers to motors with fuel.